stay. I'll be around the day to be available for you to see. I'm about to go. I am there, you know. Want me to stay here? I gotta be me. Never being down, that's what it's all about. You can take me for granted and smile. Now, please don't go. Forget the business with my phone. Because I promise I'll be gone for a while. And when you see me again, I hope that you have been the kind of person you really are now. To get it straight, how could I ever be late when you're a woman that get up and down? Get out of pocket for fun. When you know that you never do. Number one, gonna be number one. I'll be good. Wish I could get this message overdue. To be available for you to see. I'm about to go. I'm there, you know. Want me to stay here? I got to be me. You never be it down. That's what it's all about. You can take me for granted and smile. Now, please don't go. Forget the reason with my phone. Because I promise I'll be gone for a while. When you see me again, I know that you have been the kind of person you really are now. It's straight, I'll never be late when you're a woman that get up and down. I wonder how did you get out of pocket so fun? When you know that you never do. I could get this message over to you now. The person you really are now. I'll be so
That one there. Gotta tell you. Welcome to another edition of Funk from the Front Seat, right here on 9 on the Grind TV. Our special guest today, P-Funk legend, actress, vocalist, writer, songwriter, activist, and all those good things rolled up into a beautiful queen, coming straight from the KC, out there where the funkless is funkless. But don't worry, we got you holding down. We know we holding it down, and we're going to hold you down, Linda. Our producer today, Mr. Mark Lee, extraordinaire, always fast, always funky, always classy, never last, always fast behind the glass. I keep you in my prayers, Mark, because I love you. I know your dad's not doing well, but thank you for all the hard work you're doing, and thank you for everybody tuning in. I got our field reporter out there, Eyes Today. We got some breaking news for you by Jen Vander Putten. We got some new ears and eyes on the show. We're getting some crazy numbers with these shorts that we've been cutting up. So, like they said on True Blood, who knew? So, anyway, we're going to get this show started because who knew? Who knew? But, today, special bittersweet, of course. We had to come on with Sly, as everyone around the world is probably doing in some form of fashion, to just say thank you. We got a little bit more down the line for that. For Sly in the middle of the show, we want to thank out everybody that shouts us out and holds us down every week, and we really appreciate you guys. Today is a very politically orientated show. So, if you ain't ready for that, you might want to, just sit back and listen, because what we're saying is not Republican nor Democrat. It's just about the facts. And we try to get into the facts. These are the facts, our opinions. But yes, they are what's actually happening, not the stuff you may hear on social media or other platforms, what your neighbors or friends are telling you. Linda Shider is one of our experts, always on our panel when it comes to political discussions. So without further ado, Mark, you back there? You bringing Linda up, or should I? I see you disappeared. Oh, yeah, there she is. All right, Mark, I got you, bro.
Greetings.
How are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm good. You looking well out there in the KC land, Kansas City. Here's to you.
Happy Father's Day ahead of time, because I won't be able to talk to you tomorrow. So enjoy Father's Day. You and Mark. I don't know if Mark has children, but I'm assuming he does. Happy Father's Day to you guys.
Well, thank you.
It's a pleasure to work with you.
Oh man, thank you. That's really special. I really appreciate that. That's really cool. So tell our audience a little bit about you, and then we're gonna jump straight into it. We're gonna waste no time. We got an hour and a half, 45 minutes, and we're gonna do it up. I got some information coming in that just happened that our field reporter Jen Vander Putten got us to. So tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Myself? Well,
yes.
I'm a singer, songwriter. I've been involved in politics since I was a teenager, off and on with SNCC, working with SNCC. And things like that. When I was in college also, married to Gary Shider, diaper man from P-Funk. Him and I were songwriters. We collaborated on a lot of music over the years. And of course, we lost him 15 years ago. And so I often try to keep him in people's memory by bringing up different things, like the comic book I put out a couple of years ago, and the album I did of some stuff that was that people hadn't heard that him and I had done. Either singly or together. And grandmother now. I have a brand new grandbaby in the family. She's 2 weeks old. Her name is Harmony.
Harmony, I like that.
So like I said, that's it. Just dealing with my family.
Yeah, you're keeping the funk alive too, because you're always like here.
I can. Yes, indeed.
When I need you, you're always here. Sometimes I just hit you up and we just chat about life. So
exactly, there's a lot going on to talk about.
Exactly. Now, truth be told, right, we are in some turbulent times.
Yes.
It's not transparently speaking. Just for me personally, I did not vote for this particular regime, whether people like it or not. That was just me. But what's happening and has been happening and is put into place to really undermine anything good. It seems to me that we're actually at the beginning of it. What are your opinions about it?
I think the negative energy is extreme. It's gotten to the point now where you just don't know what to expect from day to day. His first presidency was bad enough. This one is like he's on retaliation for anybody that bothered him or didn't like him or came across it or didn't follow him. And he's going after everybody. Nobody is safe anymore. He's trying to arrest the governor of California, one of the senators got arrested, almost arrested for just trying to ask a question of the National Home Security lady in charge. Got handcuffed, thrown to the ground. I mean, nobody's safe anymore.
Yeah, you're right, because our breaking news, and thank you, Jen Vanderput, just for anybody just watching that just didn't know, recently, Democratic State Representative Melissa Hortman, a former State House Speaker, and her husband, Mark, was shot and killed at their home in Brooklyn Park, Minneapolis.
What?
Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. And what appears to be a politically motivated assassination by a suspect impersonating a police officer. Right? This link just came across. Yeah.
Wow.
This is breaking news.
Wow.
Any updates? Thank you, Jen. She'll be getting back to us. And, we'll try to get that link. Mark, if you could pull up that link and put it out. Earlier, in a separate incident, just miles away in Chaplin, Minnesota, Democratic State Senator John Hoffman and his wife was shot and wounded in their home. This feels really coordinated, and according to our eyes and ears out there in the street. Well done, Jen. Thank you very, very much. These things are happening at an alarming rate.
And I just saw on MSNBC that the court is allowing him to keep the National Guard in L.A.
Yeah, see, that's not cool.
They lost that fight.
Yeah, now I have family out there. Of course, we got Funketeers out there. Yeah, Dawn and everybody, and so the Funk family is out there, and regular human beings that are just trying to go through their day should not get snatched out of a graduation if they don't have the right papers. They should not get snatched. I'm talking about if they're not criminals now. Should not get snatched from trying to get a job and work and be productive. See, it's all backwards. Yes, we want to get the bad apples out, but at the same time, every brown-skinned person is not a bad apple because they can't speak this language and have the right paperwork. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any moral sense. So to some, it makes political sense. God bless you. But for me, I can't see that. I just can't see it.
They're even going into churches and taking people out of church. ICE is doing. There's no place safe. In church, it used to be a safeguard. Where you were in the church, they couldn't come and take you out. That's all out the window too.
Yeah, it used to be. Hi, Sonia, down there in Texas. Shout out. Sonia says hello, Linda. It used to be where our politicians, good or bad, and as Black people and brown-skinned people, we've had to endure either side all the time. So for us, we're going to survive. We know how to survive. We band together. Yes, we have our differences, but we usually band together and come together in a situation like this. And I know plenty of Black people that voted for Trump. Now, I didn't understand it. I wasn't mad at them, but I didn't get it. So
Latinos too. And like I said, now they look ridiculous because of how he's treating them.
Yeah.
They helped get him elected too, for whatever reason. He was already telling them what his plans were for their community. So I don't understand. And meanwhile, let's not forget that in D.C., tanks are rolling down Pennsylvania Avenue.
When is that supposed to be?
His birthday present to himself.
What day is that?
Today.
It's today? Oh, yes. My goodness.
Today. Yeah.
See, I didn't even know. But Mark, you got to see if you get that information, see what's going on with that. That's crazy. What I thought he was going to try to do it like on Juneteenth or something.
No, I think this is his birthday. This was his birthday present to himself.
He was here visiting and shout out, and I honor all of the military. I have military in my family. I want to thank you for your service. I want to thank you for your gratitude. I mean, I have gratitude for you. I want to thank you for giving and saving us and keeping us safe. I have nothing against what y'all are tasked to do. My issue is how
they were responding to his speech. He's politicized the military. He's politicized the Justice Department, and we can't even count on the courts to stop him. This whole country has gone bizarro.
Yeah, I used to live out by Fort Bragg when I first moved to North Carolina. I was in Spring Lake, which is like 10 minutes away, and it was okay. Military people are cool. don't know if we should be sending our troops to places where they're probably going to get in harm's way, you know. And now look at what's happening. We started in the West, fires and for the record, you tell me your opinion. It was a small, isolated area, right? And they blew it up to be this major, major thing. But let's all remember, it was like a 4-square block kind of thing. So don't believe the hype. What are your opinions about how they hype shit up?
Well, you know how the news is. If it bleeds, it leads. So most of the networks are showing the fires, which is like maybe one fire, trying to make it look like the whole city is ablaze, and it's not. They're saying it's like a 4-block. You said a 4-block radius where the protesters are in mass.
Right, right.
But to see them kind of blowing this, basically they're like amening what he's doing by making it look like that.
Yeah, yeah. I believe that both sides, or if you want to call side. Now, I've never had a side. I've just been on the funk side. I don't care about nothing else. Wherever the funketeers in the mothership roll, that's usually where I fall into. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of know 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be all right, you know, like the song says. But Mark says that thing is from 12 o'clock to noon today.
The parade.
Yeah, so I'm glad I'm on the and I'm not working. Not that I don't want to see presidents get their presidential due. Not that I don't want to see the military get their due. But we all know this is like some bullshit.
He's doing this because Putin does it and all his buddies do it.
Some bullshit, man.
So busy trying to be like them that he decided to do it himself. This is unprecedented. And it's costing a bunch of cash.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
$136 million for this parade.
Yes. Now, see, I heard also, now I don't know if this is true, but I'll call up and find out because, you know, we all got people up in D.C. I heard it's really going to tear up the streets.
Of course it is. If the tanks rolling down Pennsylvania Avenue, you better believe it's going to be damaged.
Why would we do that?
Because he decided he wanted this for his birthday present. And the military is so gung-ho behind following him. Everybody in charge is his buddies.
Yeah.
That allowed it to happen.
Because he fired all of the other generals that actually had some normalcy with them.
He kicked them all out.
Yeah. You know, generals and military folk have a tough job and they're tasked with an impossible no-win situation because they're laying their life on the line. They're going to get killed or maybe not, or come back in some kind of way where they're not really themselves. And then they got to follow the executive commander in chief, which has to be hard. Because I know in my heart of hearts, there's got to be some people in the military saying, what TF, WTF? You know what I'm saying?
Marines have no place involved in a civil disturbance. No place.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to do anything in our country. They're supposed to be fighting like our enemies.
Yeah.
Not citizens of America.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just so out of whack.
It is. And all we can do is, as tribal people, is pray and bond because this is prophecy. This has been, you know, some of it has been foretold by whoever and the people that have those gifts.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And I think for us to see it any other way is going to be more detrimental because we already have PTSD. And this is true. I need everybody to listen to this very carefully. Please, if you are feeling any kind of way, go seek therapy, talk to somebody. You may not know or realize you have PTSD from the COVID stuff and from the first administration stuff and from being locked down and from whatever. You may have had a loss of a transition. And, you know, shout out to those that have. And you know, just know that you have to take care of first self, love self, look at self, inner self, check yourself and understand like, hey, this ain't quite right. I'm feeling kind of off, you know. See, and we as Black people, especially, we're strong. Black women are the strongest on the planet, without a doubt. It happened. Women are the strongest on the planet. Period. Right? And it's like you guys have to endure so much all the time as women of all races, and then you have to figure out a way to somehow nurture the earth, the planet. So for me, like I always say this on every show I have women, I kudos to you guys because your energy is necessary. Without it, we die. We die.
We've always had to bear the burden of whatever is going on in the world.
We've
always had
man.
to have that on our backs.
Yeah, and shout out to Jen for giving me that
going
news.
Positive, trying to keep things moving and positive in the family. Yeah. This has been our job.
Yeah, that's why I really wanted to see a woman president. I really did. I thought this dude cheated with Elon Musk and all of that. I thought they jerked her around because she didn't have nearly enough time. They should have did that 3 years ago. And I thought the Democratic Party that I have to unfortunately vote for is like they screwed up so many things and without having a plan B.
They have no plan. They seem to have no plan.
No plan. So it's like you have to vote.
I'm so disappointed in the Democratic Party right now.
Me too.
Extremely disappointed with them.
I don't know why they just can't say, listen, F it. Let's just go, balls to the wall, no gas, all gas, no break. I just don't get that. They're hesitant all the time, like they scared. Like they almost got like a slave mentality. Mm-hmm. Like, oh God, master go with me. If I get out of line. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You're a political party. You're half the freaking country. Yeah, you're half the freaking country. You're supposed to be just as ruthless, just as hardcore. We ain't got no gangsters up in our party. That's what we need. Democrats ain't got none.
A situation like this is ridiculous. If they're trying to do that one, who they're going against is like stepping all over them. It's not working. We need to be, like you said, just as strong and tough as the Republicans.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, they seem like they're scared, just like you said.
Yeah, and see, we got a comment from Cindy. Shout out Cindy, one of our major sponsors to the show. It looks like there may be a thunderstorm during the Trump parade. Yay! There are no kings. Protests in 80 cities all over the country today. Excellent. Yes. We got reporters and breaking news all over. Funk from the front seat. That's coming straight from the West Coast, Seattle. So thank you.
City, I was surprised to see that they're expecting like 400 or 500 people to demonstrate here in KC, which is a Republican stronghold. Yeah. But people are so sick of what's going on that they decide to come on out, and I'm so proud of them for doing it.
Good. Because again, this is our natural right. We have a right to voice our opinion. Yep. And I was at a protest on Monday down here in North Carolina. There was another one on Tuesday. I try to make them all because I'm only one person, but together as a tribe, we can show our disappointment and disgust, And thank you, Cindy. Like I said, we get breaking news from all over, West Coast, Seattle up there. So we appreciate that. See, I don't know all this stuff because I stay hidden, but I got my peeps out there.
Hey, Cindy.
I've been focused so much on just getting ready for some things that I'm doing musically. When I have to do those things, I go into a shell. I really do. And then when I come out, then I'm like, all right, I'll see what's happening. So I'm glad we have people that actually, feel what we're doing and want to get the word out. And I'm going to try and see if there's a protest here. There probably is. And after the show, I'll go check it out. But if it rains on his parade,
I hope it rains.
As they say, God, please, if there's a God in heaven, please. That would be irony. Let me tell you, the irony of it would be great. We got a lot of people that support the show, so Linda Shider is our guest today on Funk from the Front Seat, And I want to shout out a few people while we're taking a second here to pause for the cause. JTRP, P-Funk Radio, we got you, bro. Gabe Gonzalez, Larry Funkster Jones, Robert Circular P, and newly added David Webb and the Funk Chronicles from you know, doing his thing in Ohio. And we appreciate P-Funk Radio because they be blasting it all the time. Tony Cameron, the Funk All-Stars, and New Funk Radio. Bootsy and Patty Collins, I love you guys. HJ Entertainment, Kane and Jams, the Funk All-Stars, Nappyhead Funk Army, Oak City Music Collective, my booking agent down here. Afterglow 92416, Donna and man, y'all be doing an amazing job. Q&A Entertainment, Brooke Clagett, my funk angel, I love you to death. Patricia Dioria, Aquarius Rising Art, Curtis Wilcox, and Joe the Funk Da Vinci. There's beautiful artwork behind me. Dr. Brookenstein, always taking care of our website. We love you, David. I'll see you in Virginia. You know, and also, you know, all the people that tune in and check us out. You know, we really appreciate you. And Cindy, no doubt, man, thank you for your sponsorship. That's huge for us. So we appreciate everybody, man. Give yourselves a hand because we're getting through it. We're almost pretty much at the 8-month mark, right? We only got a year and a couple of months to go. 3 years and a couple of months. We can make it. I'm sure we can. We can make it. We can make it.
I hope so. I don't know if we can stand much more of this, to be honest. I don't think the country can stand much more of this.
We can't because
we're disintegrating in front of our very eyes. All democracy is going to hell.
Yeah. Funkadelic with that album, America Eats Us Young.
America Eats Us Young. Yes,
I refer to that all the time. America Eats Us Young, yo. What we doing over here? The kids
chewing them up and spitting them out.
Yeah. And what about our children? Okay, so now as a child, how do you perceive all of what's happening? You know, what's going through your mind? You know, how do you think like the world's future is going to be for you? You know, I worry about that all the time.
It's
all
scary.
The time. My daughters are 17, 21, you know? So I'm thinking to myself, all right, we got this thing with FEMA, and I got to bring this up, right? FEMA is not getting the money, even here in North Carolina, up by Boone, to these people in a timely manner to where they can actually make it work. Because the governors of several states, you know, are coming out and saying, listen, we got half of it. You know, they're like, yo, we got half, but half ain't going to get it.
Thank Musk for that one. They can thank Musk for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, half ain't gonna cut it. You got to give it all to them. They need it all. They need tractors and bulldozers. So why don't we divert the National Guard to help those people? Right? Would make sense. It would definitely make sense. And then this is something that I especially need people to listen to, right? This thing in the Middle East now, a friend of mine who's kind of, you know, up on the subject sent me something that I'm going to read in a minute. You know, a friend of mine that I have lunch with all the time. And, you know, she's well versed in what's happening over there. And you know, we were talking last night and I was telling her that I was kind of getting freaked out because we got too many things. We're doing too much now. What's your opinion?
We're all up in the Israel, helping Israel go after Iran. God knows what Putin is doing in that war over there. It's like there's so much going on, and we got our fingers in all these pies, but we're not really accomplishing anything.
Exactly. I know she was telling me that they actually
praying like crazy. We're not doing anything to help them anymore, pretty much. Because one thing to me that always stood out, I think that Trump was so pissed off at their president for not helping him go after the Bidens that he made it a point to not lift a finger to help them against Russia.
Yeah.
It was personal with him for that.
Yeah. He does seem to always take things personal when it don't go his way.
It doesn't go his way, just like the January 6th. Letting all those people out of jail that were actually assaulting police officers. Then he brings the National Guard to LA, where basically very little was going on, where they were retaliating to make sure that something jumped off, to divert the fact that he's trying to take people's health care away.
Yeah. And that's something that I had later on. We're going to talk about this healthcare thing. But I was asking my friend about the Middle East, and she was like, it's hard to say if Israel really acted out without the U.S.'s approval. They actually might have, since we were getting ready to start round 4 of our talks with Iran. Depending on how extremely Iran retaliates, though, I can't imagine that we won't get involved to help. But with Trump, nobody really knows.
Well, I just saw on MSNBC again, because I'm kind of like trying to keep my eye on what's going on around.
Yeah, no worries.
We were the ones that helped them bomb Iran.
Right.
So we were already pitching in to help Israel.
Yeah. Now, see, this is part of what I feel is wrong with this country. It's like we don't have the resources to even take care of people here sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I saw something, and shout out to the basketball player Alonzo Mourning. He built the 72-point-something million senior complex down in Florida, where he's at, you know, from his basketball money. And it has a pool, it has a gym, it has, you know, resources, and it's simply for seniors, and the rent is $322.
What city is that?
Florida. Yo, that's in Florida. I saw it last night. I'm like, yo, I'm Miami bound, baby.
Exactly. You like to say, what city is this? Because I'll be heading that way myself.
You can look it up. I saw it last night on YouTube, man. I was like, good for him. So shout out Alonzo Mourning. Somebody's doing some good with their money. Thank you.
About time somebody did something to help us out.
Exactly. Michael Jordan actually finally down here did something, and he built a couple of schools and some other. No, he built some healthcare for communities, like clinics. But yo, he's had money for like 30 years.
And kept it to himself.
kept it. Only thing he had down here was car dealerships. Michael Jordan car dealership. He had tons of those.
Wow.
But you know, I guess people with money, they don't really think about us. Like Michael Jackson said, what about us? What about us? They don't really care about us.
Nobody,
while we sit back,
put a hand out to help another brother come on up.
I would think so. Coming back on the other side, we're going to have some more Linda Shider. Right now, I'm going to run one of these Sly videos because, you know, we have to pay homage to him. And Sly was the man. And when we come back, I want your thoughts on Sly and the Family Stone before we get back to this political thing.
Cool.
Y'all hang tough, man. We hanging with Linda Shider. Today's a blast. We appreciate you guys, all the comments and stuff. So y'all check this out.
Getting stronger.
Powerful. That's powerful, man. We love you, Sly. We got a little something later we're going to end with. And we're going to get back to some of these comments and some of these quotes here.
I saw him a couple of times, and when he did that particular song, the whole crowd was on their feet.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
And working with him when he came out with George for a while.
Yeah.
Around him was just such a thrill, you know?
What was that like when George and Sly got together and you guys were together?
Well, Sly he wasn't there long because he realized George was using him, for just, he didn't feel comfortable, to be honest.
I got you.
And he didn't stay long because he just felt he didn't like how it coming off.
Yeah, I get it.
But he was very pleasant to be around. I have to say that, he was a cool guy. Yeah. He was really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, they collaborated on some music, and everybody dug the music, and we we all just left it at that because the music is what matters to most of us. That none of the other stuff, we just kind of like took that as part of life, and we leave it alone.
In fact, what he did was his last show with P-Funk. He just got up off the keyboard and just walked off and went home.
Right.
He was just done. Yeah. But he was at that point. He was not really too comfortable performing anymore, to be honest. You could tell. Yeah.
It's amazing how we see these artists as things that are unbreakable. They're not fragile, and it's actually the opposite. So much that an artist has to go through to do night in, night out, and all the things that go with that. So it's while he was here, I know he was the MFer. And he spawned Larry Graham and Graham Central Station too. Yep. That came out of that pond.
Badass.
Yes, sir, boy. When that train got rolling,
yes,
GCS, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. So that was when we heard that, we were coming off the tail end of Sly. I was too young to go to Woodstock, but then Larry Graham came out, and everybody's like, "Oh, did you hear this new bass player?" And he's from Sly. He left Sly, and I was like, "What?" And Sly had came out with Family Affair and Crossword Puzzle that Larry wasn't on, but Rusty Allen played bass. But he was nice too. But GCS, when we saw them live,
yes,
we
indeed.
Like, all right. So yes. So it was nice to sit back and think about his music when I first heard it. That whole day, I just listened to his music and remembered like, oh man, I was 10 and 11, hot fun in the summertime and think about girls, Sly was the master of the pop song, the 3-minute, 28-second pop song.
Yes,
just incredible. Let's get back to some of these comments. We're hanging out with Linda Shider today, P-Funk legend, of course. I was very interested in this one, of course, Sly, iconic, pioneering, game changer. Absolutely right, Sonia. As well as We Going Higher. And it made me think about the riots when that album, There's a Riot Going On. And they was trying to manifest riots in LA. But Cindy makes a very good point. I don't understand why so many red states vote for a party of climate change and deniers when they're being obliterated by storms. Now, this is factual. Like, we know there's a climate change. What's your opinion?
You talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, it's very obvious. Look at all the fires in California, the weather, how it's changed. We have thunderstorms, like sometimes for 2 or 3 weeks constantly. Same thing on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And you see the devastation and the heat, 100 and some degrees in places that normally would not have that kind of high temperatures.
Yeah. It feels like Mother Earth is crying.
She's asking for help.
Right? Don't it feel that way? It feels like she's literally crying out, like, please stop. Enough. Yes. Or I'm going to call it a day if y'all don't stop. Yeah. I was talking to Jen about that last night, and we were talking. I was like, yo, man, feels like, and she's like, yeah, I never thought about it like that. But I was like, yeah, because it's like, as an empath, and I know you are as well, any empath experience out there, we're feeling it twice as hard. Because we just feel it. We're like vibrations, like tuning forks. And I can't shut it off. I've been trying for a month to ground myself, but I feel the pressure from all sides, like pressure it in, close it in. And what do you think we could do about that?
Well, like I said, they keep trying to push us into electric cars, but they've made them so expensive that most people can't afford them to keep the gas emissions from maybe messing with the universe.
Yeah.
And we've had earthquakes on the East Coast, which was insane. Things like that are just bizarre, but they're happening. And there's got to be a reason for it. And it could be the carbon emissions. It could be all the stuff that they're throwing up into the atmosphere, all the satellites and everything that's running around, like we don't know what they're doing. Are they spying on us? Are they doing something to impact the environment? We just don't know.
I know I watch a lot of docs. I saw this doc about the praying mantis. Remember, they used to be everywhere, praying mantis and butterflies?
Yeah.
Everywhere. And they said they've been wiped out. Monarchs.
The same thing with bees.
Yeah, they're being wiped out. So somebody is messing with the DNA of the planet, Because I noticed the other day, I went to the park, hanging out, eating my lunch, just sitting there, and I didn't see no butterflies, no monarchs, no praying mantis. I didn't see any dragonflies when I was by the lake. That's very odd. And I started wondering to myself, and I was talking to my spiritual self, and I was like, this is the change that they talked about at the end of the cycle. We're in it. I never thought I'd see it, but we're actually in it. We're in the last days in time. Crazy, right?
It certainly feels like that.
Yo, I'm going to step out on a limb and say, yes, we in it. And I think, and I want your opinion, we need to get back to the tribes, like really banding together as hippies, funketeers, you know what I'm saying? And be like, we're just going to manage this, because.
And remember the time when the village used to help you raise your children?
Yeah.
We've gotten, everything is electronic now. People don't even talk anymore. They text. They don't have a conversation face to face. It's always like with electronics now. Everything is turning into mechanical stuff.
Yeah, they're programming us, know. And it's sad because we kind of need it for some stuff, but for other stuff, you go out, you see a couple sitting across from each other, they ain't talking, holding hands, they texting. Looking at this, looking at that. People send me stuff all the time, right? Most of it I never post, but I read it. And I was like, well, I don't know if it's a good idea to get a lot of social media news from the social media just to be on the real side. Yeah, because a lot of it, it ain't really accurate, So be wary of that. Like Prince said, use the computer. Don't let the computer use you, That's what that song Computer Blue was out. And those songs that he was saying, he was letting people know, listen, this is work. And after that, it's done, it's done.
I see it's becoming a world of robotics where the robots are running the world,
Yeah.
Within the next 20 years, they're going to be running the show.
Yeah.
I really feel like that's a possibility.
In some countries, they already have like a lot of robotic stuff, and they're serving people in restaurants and things like that. And it's cool. I guess technology, that's where we are, but we have to be careful. I think that movie Woody Allen Sleeper back in the 70s was very accurate. Remember that movie? And then it became like, and it was in that future world. We in that now, and that's why it's really scary. I know one good thing comes out of this, right? All good things come from change. And one good thing comes out of this. We now know that politics is bullshit. Because this dude got felonies, at least 30 by now.
And became president.
And is still president.
And I just found out recently how much these congressmen make. They're making like $200,000 a year.
That's a lot of money.
to sit down there and do nothing for us.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Exactly. To do nothing.
Just to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money. Do you think that let me see what Mark is what Mark, you popping in, park in, please. Please pop in, bro.
Yeah, I can pop
How you
in.
doing?
It's been a crazy. I'm doing good. It's got a crazy day here at the HI. We had a major drummer that was known here in the area, Bradley Simmons. He passed away back in May, so they're doing a memorial service for him today. So there's all these drummers that are around the area and all along those lines. But as you know, there have been tons of protests. There are even protests here in Durham. They started at 12, and I think they're going till 3:30 over at Major the Bull and everything. So a lot of people are upset at Trump and upset at this whole notion of what's going on. So there is a lot of major protests. I know in Raleigh there was a major one that's still going on, and this one that is this afternoon started at 12, and I think it goes till 3:30. But I've seen people heading in that general direction as well. So definitely, there's a lot of folks that are doing these protests throughout the country. I mean, I think they said that there's just about every state, every major city has got a protest while he's doing this. They call it a celebration of the Army's 250th anniversary, Linda. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just his big birthday party is what he's trying to do and everything like that. The price tag is something like 46 million. Is means we got to pay the money and everything like that. So it's just crazy what's going on, and a lot of people are not happy. I've even heard some Republicans are bucking the system and going against him as well, and even some of the people that are in the military are not pleased with this, including some people in the National Guard and the Army and others that have been sitting there going like, you've gone too far and everything like that. So even some of his own are not too happy with what is taking place.
You know what I thought?
And Paul, who was pretty much a Trumper, is saying that this parade is insane.
You know what I thought? And this is just me, right? If I'm another country and I'm watching this dude deploy all of our resources to other things that really shouldn't matter and don't matter in the grand scheme of things, this is the perfect time to attack us. Mm-hmm. It'd be perfect time. Half our people are at a parade. The other half is over here on the West Coast doing stuff. The boys and girls, young men and women in the Middle East are like, where do we go? What do we do? I saw yesterday, we got over 2,000 troops stationed over there in about 18 different spots. Wow. You know, and they're all standby ready now. They went to code, like whatever the code is, code red, to be ready, you know. And this would be the perfect time to get the United States right now. Yep. It'd be the perfect time to get us. That's why I'm telling you, black people, be armed. I know I am. I'm legally armed. A lot of us are legally armed. We ain't going down without a fight, Jack.
Got your weapons and everything ready.
Yo, don't sleep.
Black Panthers are trying to make a point.
Don't sleep on the black community. I'm just telling you this time around.
About, protect yourself.
That's right.
Jungle out here.
That's right. This time around, y'all, it ain't gonna be like that other stuff. Black people are ready this time. Believe me. So we'll band with our white brothers and sisters and our Latino brothers and sisters, and we all go do this. But you ain't coming. This ain't happening. Everybody I talk to were like, yeah, this ain't going down like this time. Not at all. Not at all. So, Mark, what's been going on, man, in the news? What's happening?
Like I said, the main thing is these counter protests and, of course, the deportation efforts that have been going on in LA, and a lot of people are going up against that and everything. But definitely, there's even I just saw that there's a breaking news about a Democratic lawmaker killed and another wounded in Minnesota in a politically charged, motivated attack. So this was
Jen got us that story at the top of the hour. She got us that. Yeah, we was on that. What happened?
Right now, they're saying a prominent Democratic state lawmaker in Minnesota and her husband have been killed in a politically motivated shooting, and another Democratic state lawmaker and his wife were shot in the early hours of Saturday. So, State Representative Melissa Hortman was the person that they were talking about, and definitely her husband Mark, as the state governor Tim Walz, confirmed at a press conference on Saturday, and he said it was apparently a politically motivated assassination. So, he talked about he was nearly assassinated, but this looks like an actual carried out assassination.
Did they get the perpetrators, Mark?
That's what I'm trying to see if they actually got the perpetrator and everything. because I'm reading through the articles to see if they actually got the perpetrator or
Jen
not.
said they didn't. Jen said the dude was disguised as a police officer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She broke that before you was busy doing something, but we had that on earlier. But thanks for reiterating. See, now these are the things that start a revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure these people weren't bothering anybody. You know what I'm saying? They're doing their job. So if you don't agree with him, you gotta go. See, that's how it starts. That's exactly how it starts. And be honest with you, this time I don't want to see 1968 all over again.
No,
I don't want my kids to have to live in that again.
Well, the appeals court has allowed Trump to keep the National Guard under his control.
Oh, I think that somebody told me that they had repealed that and it went back to the governor.
The appeals court said that they're allowing him to continue to control the National Guard.
Oh, wow.
Taking it out of Newsom's hands.
Wow.
That's a shame.
That's going back and forth. That's still back and forth and everything like that. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. You asked what else was going on in the news. Apparently 200 U.S. Marines began Los Angeles deployment in Westwood Federal Building on yesterday and everything like that. And then, of course, we got Israel bombing the heck out of Tehran in Iran and everything like that. So there's all these wars that are going on, whether it's Israel and Tehran or Israel and Iran, or whether it's Israel and the Hamas, or whether it's Ukraine and Russia. And people forget about the other countries that are in dire straits like Sudan and the ones that are on the African nation. And of course, Pakistan and India have been going at each other as well.
Wow. Yeah, it's weird. It's so much stuff to think about, talk about. We could do 30 shows.
Oh, yeah. We didn't even get into AI. You could do a whole show just on AI and what AI is doing these days.
Crazy, man. I can't fathom like what is happening in like, say, whatever the Democrats are doing and whatever their plan is, now's the time for them to step it up. You know, because they seem to be like, okay, well, this is happening. Okay, well, that's happening. Yeah, but dudes, you got to do something. You know, like if you saying, well, this is bad and that's bad, but we don't see what you doing. This is bothering me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's bothering anyone else, but it's really bothering me.
You're breaking up. Zach, you're breaking up. I don't know what's going on with your vocals.
No, I think
audio.
You was frozen for a minute. But what I was saying is, I don't know why nobody is really more forcefully trying to do something about what's happening. That's what I was saying. Yeah. As far as the Democrats go.
Your vocals, you're breaking up, or your audio is breaking up, Zach.
Okay. Mark, is it breaking up?
Not breaking up on my end.
It's not on this end.
Right. It might be on her end.
It's okay on this end.
Yeah, it might be on her end.
Yeah. You might have to go out and come back in.
Okay.
See what happens. Yeah, go out and come back in. Yeah. But yeah, Mark, I don't know why more people are not up in arms about this, man.
Well, like I said, there's a lot of people up in arms, and so definitely there's a lot of people that are upset, and we're seeing more and more people that are getting upset. So I think that we're going to see an increase in this kind of attempted changing things. And like I said, there was even some people, I know there was at least one or two senators that were even put in arguable impeachment against this man as well. Now, unfortunately, he does have control of just about everything, including the Supreme Court. So I don't know that would work, but they are putting them out there.
Well, that's good then, because man, I'm like, yo, we should all be like, as soon as we finish the show, I'm going to go down there and join that and see, because we should all be concerned that, like, if we have the time or whatever too. So
it goes till 3:30, so you'll have time. So it was starting at 12 and it goes till 3:30. Like I said, if I didn't have this event, I would be down there myself. But this event is going from 2 to 6 and everything. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a major event, and it started at 12 and it runs till 3:30.
Yeah, we got a comment from Jen. She says, "Love you all. Stay strong, stay in the light," and we're going to do that, Jen, for sure. Oh, yeah. And thank you for your early bird on the eye reporting of that story, breaking that on Funk from the Front Seat right here on 9 on the Grind TV. And Cindy K, thank you. I know it's sad. It's a sad day on earth right now, and thank you for sharing You know, it is a sad day. I feel that's the pressure, man. I knew something was all wrong when I woke up like last week and the full moon came that night, and I was like, man, it's coming. You know, it's coming, man. It's coming. Ironically, that's words in my new song. It's coming, man. It's coming. But yeah.
I like the title of that song.
Huh?
I like the title of that song.
Yeah, don't tell nobody because we ain't tipping it out yet. You know, we shooting
Well,
the
you
video.
just announced it to the whole world.
Yeah, we shooting the video in a couple of weeks.
Cool.
But yeah, it's crazy, man. You know what? Let's run that other slide video, Mark. I'm gonna take care of that, knock that out, and we're gonna see if we can get Linda back on and finish and wrap this thing up by like 1:30. We still got a half hour. Please join us and check it out. And we got you know what we got to show? I'll wait till she gets back. Those 2 clips that I sent, you know.
Yeah.
I'll wait till she gets back. Y'all check this out.
Somebody that just loves to learn, and another child grows up to be somebody you just love to burn. Mom loves the both of them. You see, it's in the blood. Both kids are good to mom. Blood's thicker than the mud. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Oh, no bad. What no bad. Still checking each other out. Hey, nobody wants to blow. Nobody wants to be left out. You can't leave cause your heart is there. But you can't stay cause you've been somewhere else. You can't cry cause you look broke down. But you're crying anyway cause you're all broke down. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Oh, yeah, a family affair.
Like Sly said, it's a family affair. Sure. Because it is. Because that's what we got to do.
Yes, indeed.
Bro? Yeah. Mark's back there playing around. He's working, doing the daytime stuff. Mark was having a family affair moment. But isn't it ironic that we can sit here and try to help each other through the next hour and a half, whatever, and smile, and then we go out into the world, and then it's that thing, you know,
There's nothing funny going on out in the world right now.
Ain't nothing going. Yeah, ain't nothing funny. And it's sad because again, I always think back about my daughters and kids and your grandkids.
Yeah.
You just got a new grandbaby in this world. You know? So, what do you think the kids should do as far as listening or not listening or what when it comes to politics?
Well, kids have of dealing with each other that's different from how we adults do. They can kind of like become comrades in arms, and maybe the next day they're throwing fists.
Yeah.
But children are resilient. And I hope that when they grow up, there's something left for them to be happy about. Because not too much.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
It really is.
That's why it's a lot of distractions too for young people, and I know that's their way probably of coping with a lot of stuff that's happening. And that's okay. I mean, I get it, but young people out there, beware. Because you will one day inherit this planet, and then you're gonna have to make decisions.
You have to step up.
Yeah. So to all my young people out there, we got you for now, but eventually, we need you to come to the forefront. I know a lot of you have. I meet a lot of young people, gay, straight, lesbian, white, black, Latino, Native American, especially down here, Mexican, and they out there. They really are fighting hard. So I tip my hat to you, and I'll join you. I'll be in the back, but I'll join you because I guess this is what my dad would have done. I posted his NAACP card the other day. He was in it, heavily as a minister. And I always feel that I'm obligated, even if I may not want to sometimes, but I feel I'm obligated. Mr. Mark.
Yeah, I had a quick question for you. Well, actually, a couple of questions. One is we had an event yesterday. It was around that Haiti development and gentrification, and there was a lot of young people, including some folks from the Socialist Party and everything like that. But I do know, and I was wondering your thoughts because you've got your daughters, and I know Linda's got kids and everything. And I am hearing more and more, because I don't have any, but I do have my two nephews that are concerned so much with the planet, concerned with the world, that they are even thinking about encouraging their kids not to have kids because they don't know what kind of world will be inherited and everything like that. So I just wanted your thoughts around that, Linda, because I do know a lot of people that are basically encouraging their kids not to have kids because they're afraid of what world they might be inherited.
I can kind of understand that philosophy or that way of thinking because of the situation that we're living in right now. We're leaving the kids, we're destroying the planet. There's all kind of insanity going on with politics and government forces and all the other things that are happening right now. Who wants to have to deal with something like that as a child?
Yeah. I think, and I agree with you 100%, Mark. I think that I would tell my daughters right now, y'all, hold off a minute.
Yeah.
Hold up a minute. Let's see how this is going to settle out. I don't need grandbabies. I need y'all. So
I fear for these children. I really do because of the world that we're living in right now.
And God bless all the grandparents out there. God bless y'all, man, because y'all have done an amazing job. Kings and queens of all races, creeds, and colors. If you got a grandbaby, good for you. Right. Mark, run those two clips of the political things that I said about the police.
I can definitely do that. Let me slide down to the bottom and we'll run those two clips and everything like that. And let's go with the first one about the police officers, because I found that very fascinating. So let's check this particular clip out right here.
Kids coming out of the school
getting hit by the police officers, and the police officers talking about they being thrown in, people throwing ice at them and concrete and everything. But we're actually seeing that it's actually the police that are doing some of these attacks and not necessarily the other ones. And I know that even that crazy person that calls himself the president has been talking about all these paid agitators. And I've been parts of movements, so I do know that there are paid agitators, but not to the kind of way that he's trying to paint it. He's trying to seem like there's a bunch of folks that are getting paid big money and everything like that. And if they pay the agitators, me and Zach needs to get some of that money right now, because we are agitators and we like being agitators and everything, but we ain't get paid. Have you got the check yet, Zach, for agitation?
Nope, not yet, but I'm sure we're going to get kicked off the air soon. That's why I'm trying to get it all in. So check this out, right? Back in the day, Linda, I wanted to ask you this and Mark too, but I asked Linda first. Years ago, when we would see something like this on TV, we would say to ourselves, wow, that's uncivilized. Look at that uncivilized nation.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
And now what? Look at us. We've become that.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy. Run that other one, Mark.
Yeah, we'll go check this other one. This was deep about the cash and everything. So let's check this out.
Because a digital currency, and this is all accepted. This is all accepted. This is not theory. Is programmable. They can program a digital currency to mean you can only spend it on certain things and you can't spend it on others not designated by the government. And it's programmable so it can only be spent in a certain area. So if you go outside of your zone, your money won't work. And not only that, it means that when you go past one of these number plate cameras, when you, quote, shouldn't, you won't be able to challenge the fine, because the fine will be taken out of your digital account the moment you transgress. This is what's happening. Now, these digital currencies are called central bank digital currencies, CBDCs.
Now, see, we're talking about money that you can only spend on stuff they want you to buy. And if you go outside your zone, you're broke. And you get a fine.
Wow.
And it comes out of your digital money.
Wow.
See, this is why I never roll with digital. I was like, nah, paper or card, that's it.
I'm not doing crypto. I don't deal with it either.
Because I'm telling you, it says, and my dad was a minister, so I kind of know certain things in the Bible, but I'm spiritual. Y'all know that. It says the mark of the beast will be the money that you have to spend to get certain things, and you'll only be able to spend certain money on certain things. And that's not actually what it says, but it basically says that's when the end days will be here, because your money won't be no good. Right? Now, all of this is happening. This dude is selling everything he got. He's selling pieces of his hair, Trump hair, crosses, cups, glasses, mugs, cars,
Crypto, cryptocurrency. He's got that going on.
Everything.
The Bible.
Right. That's the funniest one, the Trump Bible. I swear to God.
But Zach, the Bible, he didn't know which way to hold the Bible, because if I remember correctly, did he hold it upside down?
Now he's got his own personal one he's selling.
Yeah, with his face in it and all.
Of course.
That's crazy.
And don't forget the like the baseball card deals where he's like a superhero. And
Yeah. I saw that. You know, if this dude was in the music business, he would be the best, because he can sell some merch.
Oh, he can definitely sell some merch.
His mother can sell merch like nobody I've ever seen before.
You ain't never lied about that, Zach. But
he is the king of the con men.
King. I tip my hat to him for that.
Yeah, he's the king of that. But listen, Zach, if you heard him speaking and everything, doesn't it seem like he thinks that he is the second coming? Because I know that's what a lot of people are looking forward, and it seems like he almost thinks that he is the second
himself
coming.
As that, Mark. Yes, he has said that he was anointed by the man upstairs.
Yeah,
he has said those kind of things about himself.
He's even selling his soul, Cindy said. You're right about that.
Yeah,
that's funny. Selling his soul bit by bit. Sad but true. You know, Mark, I got a question for you and Linda.
Yeah.
When when November comes around and we got to elect new politicians on our local level, what do we do?
Well, one thing we got to look at what kind of issues they are dealing with, because actually 2026, which is next year, will be the midterm elections. But yeah, there are some elections coming up this year as well, and we need to make sure that people are not selling us out, because that's something that has been done in our community, and I'm sure Linda can relate to that. I can definitely relate to it here in Durham and other places. So there are a number of politicians that will sell you out in a minute. That was part of what the event here yesterday was, and everything, because there are people concerned about big time industries coming and bringing up $80,000 businesses and the things that most of the people in our neighborhoods cannot afford and everything like that. And there'll be a big vote for that on this coming Monday and everything like that here in Durham. But yeah, we got to stay awake, stay awoke, and stay diligent in making sure that we are studying the issues that are out there and making sure that we are not getting sold a bunch of crops. I'll just put it that way.
Well, all I can say is I hope that with the elections coming up, that the Democrats are able to feed off of the negativity that's going on, and like all the protesters, maybe they'll go in and vote the Democrats in, and maybe we can get rid of some of this Republican nastiness. I'm praying that the Democrats are smart enough to figure out a way to be elected and take some of these Republicans out of the White House. I mean, out of Congress.
Yeah, I think
it's going to save us.
Yeah, and I think that in the midterms, as Mark mentioned, in 2 years from now, we really got to start now grassrooting everything, door to door, like phone calls, whatever you could do to volunteer, because there's no way we can allow this dude to become the king.
Nope.
Yes,
because that's what he's got, and people better wake up and realize this shit. There's no way we're not a king kind of place.
No, never were a king. That's why we revolted against the King of England and everything way back when the Europeans came here. So it was actually the Europeans that revolted against them, but it's still the American country that was going against that. So no, we're not needing a king and everything like that. But I'm still scared, because remember one of the things that he said, I think it was one of his debates or one of the other things, and Linda, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he say that the last election will be the last time we'd have to worry about an election? And it seems like he's put some things in motion to make that happen, because he did have
said it.
That is another one of my greatest fears, that he got such a Republican he's got them on lockdown, that if they decide that he gets another term, they can change the Constitution is in jeopardy, because they're using it they're not using it properly, basically. And just all he has to do is tell them, I want another term, and then controlling Congress, they can say, yeah, sure, let him be a third term president. Let him be, like he said, a fucking a dictator. Didn't mean to use that word. But I'm just so frustrated with things, the way things are going with this country and the Congress. And, if they're going to get $200,000, they need to be working for us, not themselves.
Yeah, I agree. I think when the revolution happens, like the last poet said in the 60s, the revolution will not be televised.
No, that was Gil Scott Heron. Yeah, Gil Scott Heron said that.
Huh?
Gil Scott Heron saying the revolution will not be televised. I just heard it last night.
I forgot. It was Gil Scott Heron?
Yeah. It was the last poets, but he was one of the last poets. He was.
He was one of the last. Yeah. Poets. Okay. Yeah. I knew there was. Yeah. Because I remember the last poets. I was a kid, and I used to hear the teenagers singing it. I never knew what it was about.
Yeah.
But now I know what it's about.
Hey, I think one of the lines was, you would not have to worry about the Tidy Bowl man, because it was talking about commercialism and everything like that. So it was definitely one of those famous lines.
Yeah. The white knight running through like whatever they were saying about on the horse. They was deep, those brothers. You should pull one up, Bob. You should pull that up.
He was very prophetic too. He was very prophetic. Some of the things he said and talked about have really come to life.
Yeah. You know who else I really understood?
He really was.
You're right. Bob Marley was like that. And Linda, I think Cindy was telling me I was the one that was bouncing in and out. So next time that happens, I'm gonna try to reboot instead of you. Okay. She said, but Mark and I was good on here, so that's weird. We're gonna try to fix that. Thanks, Cindy. But anyway, when I heard Bob Marley's Rat Race, right? In an abundance of water, a fool is thirsty. That line sticks out to me. because that's where we are. You know, he's like, oh, what the rat race, and then an abundance of water, a fool is thirsty. We have everything, and still we want, and then we get nothing out of it. We're destroying ourselves with the food, which, by the way, I became a vegetarian, so I'm doing well with that. I'm totally off meat. Totally, I haven't eaten meat in a minute, so and my body feels better, but it's an adjustment, you know. But yeah, because I read this thing about chickens that Kevin sent me, and that was it. I was like, I was done. And you guys do your research about these chickens they putting out. Chickens aren't supposed to be white at all. They were yellow back in the day. Now they're completely white. Something is wrong, but I'm off that. So, but anyway, when we think about the times, Linda, if you were a politician and you had the power, how would you stop everything and bring it to a halt?
Well, like I said, they have the power of the filibuster. They also have the power of voting against certain things. But since we have a Republican-controlled Congress, anything that Trump wants, they're veto. I mean, they're gung-ho. Yes, sir. Whatever you need, we got you. We got you. We got you. And that's what's going on right now. Somebody has to say, no, stop. They should be talking about impeaching him, but since it's a Republican Congress, they're not going to do that. They're too busy kissing up to him.
Yeah, it's scary.
Really know, until we can flip the script some kind of way, things are going to be this bad or worse.
Yeah,
from my opinion.
Oh,
yeah, same.
Linda, please don't say worse. Please don't say worse.
Look at what's going on, Mark. Okay, I mean, there's just if he wants to go into like North Carolina with the National Guard now because of somebody protesting, he's got the permission to do so. And they're not there to protect the people. They're there to protect the buildings, I guess. Or just because he wants them to look tough. He wants to look tough. And we're suffering because of that. People are going to jail in LA like crazy for just testing.
Yeah, I felt bad. I saw some posts that Dawn had posted, and I reread some of those posts. And thank you, Dawn Silva, for holding it down out there. Congratulations to all the great stuff you're doing in the funk thing with your book and everything. I'm supposed to get Dawn on the show. We're just trying to work out the logistics. But I saw some stuff, and I was like, man, I'm hurt. I'm hurting. I'm hurting for New York. I'm hurting for Chicago, Atlanta. You know, I just hurt so bad because we can't stop, like one human being can't stop a tank, you know? It's like, you know, I'm just so sad for this planet right now. I just feel so disjointed. Can't get nothing done, you know, fragmented. Like my mind is like, okay, my family up in New York. I got family. My nephew lives in California, you know? So I'm thinking about that. He was close by the wildfires. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. This dude ain't done nothing. You know, he's married to a lady from like Mexican descent, his family. So he's got to worry about that, you know. Yeah, and I met his family, you know, at my friend's funeral. You know, and it's like I worry, man. You know, I got another friend of mine, Anna Marie. She's Latino and Mexican. She lives and she served in the Navy, you know, and she's out there, you know. So these are people that I'm like, they're my family. And I'm like, damn, you know, I don't want them to get hurt. You know, you're in Kansas City. You're my family. You're surrounded, Linda, by that craziness.
You know, I'm not sure, but doesn't Iran have a nuclear program now?
Well, you know, Israel just bombed their program because Israel just bombed the heck out of it and everything. So they bombed.
What I'm thinking is, since we're assisting Israel, if we piss them off bad enough, they might start sending nukes over here to our country.
Yeah, that's scary.
If they have them, like I said, you know, if they might be crazy enough to use them.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach, whenever you're ready, I just loaded up The Revolution Will Not Be Televised by.
Oh, you got to run that. You got to run that. You got to run it.
You want to run it right now?
Y'all watch this out. Y'all check this out. Funk from the front seat. 9 on the Grind TV.
not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nub. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still lights of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
That's so dope.
Yeah, that's Gil Scott. That's him.
Yeah, that's Gil Scott.
That's his voice. Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
That's so amazing, that prophecy.
Yep.
You know, and here we are. So Gil Scott, I know you and Sly are up there right now smoking a joint saying, well, we tried to tell you. You know what? Gary Shider is there too, but he got his guitar. I can see the 3 of them hanging out saying, well, damn, one nation under a groove. We tried to tell you, you know. Man, oh man, oh man.
Gil Scott's daughter is actually still in the poetry field. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing her sometime back. She's here actually in the West Coast, so she might be in the middle of those rides. But Gia Scott Heron is her name and everything like that. But she is following in her father's footsteps, doing spoken word and everything like that.
He was married to Brenda Sykes. Is she her mom?
That's Brenda Sykes. Yes, that's Brenda Sykes.
I thought so. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Sonia Murphy says, yeah, Gil Scott. You know it. So here we are, Saturday, whatever day it is. Oh, it's June 14th. Okay.
June 14th.
So for the 21st is supposed to be a day, right? Juneteenth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the day, the 21st?
21st is when a lot of people are celebrating it. I think the actual day is the 19th. I gotta look it up, but
It's
that's
the 19th. Yeah, that's true. It's 19th.
So it's the 19th.
Yeah.
The 19th is the actual Juneteenth day of the proclamation that came to the slaves in Texas. But a lot of people are celebrating it over the weekend, which means that there are activities on the 20th, the 21st, and other days. But the actual physical date was June 19th that the proclamation came to the slaves.
Right. So I'm just looking that up because the 19th is on a Thursday and the 21st is on a Saturday.
Right.
So we'll probably do a show that Saturday. Last year we didn't, in honor of Juneteenth. But Linda, I'd like to have you back, and we're gonna try to get some other people. Jen, try to get some, some of our fans to come on and just commemorate about what we can do to, we always try to solve issues here. We know the problems and we talk about them straight up. People think that we're one-sided, but we're not. You, me, and Mark agree the Democrats ain't doing crap for us.
Doing a darn thing to help us.
So we just kicking it like it is, Before we get out of here, I want to wrap with this. I had several things written down. We did, the president. We did FEMA a little bit. We did the LA riots. We did the Middle East. We did the food thing. And we did the digital currency. But do you think we should start? Am I breaking up, Linda, or should I go back in and out?
No, I lost you. Let me
go in and out.
No, you're good. No, she's the one that's lost.
Okay.
Yeah, my phone was, I was plugged my charger in and it seemed like it blocked it out again.
Okay,
So
yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, we hear you. We just don't see you.
We hear you. We just can't see you. But you still there. You still there.
Okay.
But what I was going to say is, do you think, Mark, we should start stacking money, or the audience out there? Do you think we should start putting money, like real dollar bills, under our mattresses, like our parents and their grandparents? Because banks, we can trust them, but technically a lot of us use our debit card for everything, and even that now is getting a little scary with the chip, but that's the currency that we use. But I, for one, I don't have much, but I'm gonna start putting $1 or $2 under my mattress just in case I'm gonna need cash. I swear, because you go somewhere and say there's a gang of people that like, listen, you can't cross over till you pay us some cash. So, me personally, I can hear my father talking now, and he'd be like, Junior, you better put $1 or $2 under your mattress.
Well, like I said, it's good to have $1 or $2 and everything, but with the amount of panhandlers that are out there and the other things, that I know a lot of people that only carry a card with them, and I know a lot of times I've only got a card and don't have any money with me, even though lately I've had $1 or $2, because sometimes you need $1 or $2 just to get a soda or a pack of nabs and everything, because not all those machines take digital cards. Now we might get to the point where they all start taking digital cards, but I know a lot of people that are strictly going the only digital route and everything like that. But I think you probably got to have a mixture of both dollar and digital. But that double digital thing and strictly
I got you, Linda,
can be very scary and everything like that. So that's just my feel on it, because I know even as you, Zach, I know you like to help out the homeless, and a lot of times you want to give them $1, but a lot of times I can't give them $1 because I ain't got $1. I just got my card on me, and then sometimes they want to have you go to the store and buy them something, which I don't mind doing if I got the cash and everything. But sometimes they also give you a side eye, going like, "No, I don't want that. I want you to give me the $1." So
yeah, that's a whole nother show that we got to do, because it is hard. And Linda, we had you, but then you were on mute. So if you come back, you just have to unmute, because we can't unmute you from this side. But it is hard to try to decide who to help and who not to. Like sometimes I go on instinct, but sometimes people downtown Raleigh will come up to you, ask you for money, and then hit you in the head. That happened to a gentleman that was at one of my shows, broad daylight, in the Hopscotch Festival. With so many people down there asking for money, and the dude wasn't from here. And I said, don't let people approach you like that. Just push him away. And the dude got close to him and saw he had money, hit him in the head, and he got robbed. Right? So it's hard, and you just don't know. I try to help. If I have $1 from a tip I'll give from Uber, I'll give it. But most of the time I don't have it to give. If I have it to give, then I'll give, because everybody needs help, everybody needs help, and I'll help somebody if I can, I'm not afraid of people like that. But
exactly. I know Linda's trying to get back in, and hopefully we can get her back in. I think
she's back. She's back.
Come back finally.
Yeah, you back. What Mark was asking was about the homeless people.
Right. And I was giving the homeless people, but Zach, just on that same line, because you haven't hid from it, and you definitely work in the music, but you also do the driving and everything. Do you ever worry about your own security? Because I know sometimes even when I come to work, people sometimes ask me if I've ever worried about my security, and I'm only coming from near Duke to Durham, which is less than 3 miles away from each other, and people are asking me about my security.
I'll tell you one reason why I never worry about my security is because I am my security, if you know what I mean.
I know that's right.
I never leave the house without it. Okay, so I'm not worried. And the God up there and the Anunnaki soldiers that I am, they all protect me because I go into some sketch areas and certain people I don't pick up when I get there. I'll see them, and if I smell something that ain't right, I'll be like, I'm sorry, you got to call another Uber. So I have the option, but I'm just one of millions that do that. So what I do, and this is important, I found this out the other day, and Linda, pass this on to anybody in your family. Anybody listening, if you come out to your car and you see one of those plastic ties on the antenna or on the spokes of the rims, that means somebody's watching you and is ready to kidnap you. And what they do is they watch you go mess with that thing, that tie, or mess with the thing on your tire. Then they come in a white van right next to you, snatch you up, and you're gone.
Oh, wow.
I saw that on YouTube.
Oh,
so it's a thing now. So look around, be very observant wherever you are, because believe it or not, kidnapping human beings has become a commodity.
Oh, human trafficking is no joke, and that's a
very intense. It is. It is.
Human trafficking is
because we watching all of this Trump stuff. Meanwhile, people are getting snatched every damn day.
Mm-hmm.
No, human trafficking,
especially
is
young girls.
Oh yeah, they're snatching young girls left and right. I don't know if I told you this, Zach, but they just recently put up some all-night lights at the complex that you used to live at, that I still live at, and everything. And some people are saying that those are actually cameras and everything like that. So are you worried that maybe there is too much camera security throughout the country? Because I'm going to myself, I'm going like, why is the lights on at all nights of the hour? And then that's what somebody told me, that there are actually cameras attached to those lights and everything like that, because that's why they got them on at all nights of the hour and everything, because they literally put them on my porch and a couple of other porches as well. So I'm just wondering, how worried are you about these all-night cameras, whether they're in the street lights or in the sidewalks or in the apartment complexes or a number of other places? Because it does seem to me that we are in a very watchful society. So a lot of people are watching you. You know they're watching you.
Watching us everywhere. There's no place you can probably go pretty much without a camera being observing you or what you're doing.
Yeah. The building I live in got cameras, so I'm just used to it. You know, it's got cameras at the entrance, the back entrance, in the hallways. There's cameras everywhere. You know, so I'm just like, hey, like you said, Linda, Big Brother has been watching. George Orwell said that. Didn't he? That was the author of that book. You know, Big Brother's been watching, and really, technically, we carry Big Brother around with us. All right,
cell phones.
Because my phone, if you ever notice, you put your phone down, and all of a sudden Google pops up or AI, and they be listening to what the hell you saying. Yeah, so we've been tagged and marked from the jump. If you go all the way back to birth, your social security number, they were giving you a bill just to be born, because when you get your social security number, you also are eligible to pay taxes. So being born, it costs you before you could even take a breath, son.
My little granddaughter already has her social security number. And she's only weeks old.
And that's only for tax purposes. So it's a damn shame. It is, man. Yo, the Illuminati been setting this up since the get-go.
Oh, yeah.
And for your old school people out there, y'all know what that means. Since the get-go. How's this march going, Linda? You watching it?
They haven't shown anything yet, but I know that there's marches going on all over the country, and I'm so glad to see that. I'm so glad to see them finally responding.
And we're part of it, because here's what happens when we finish the show. Mark and I cut these up into shorts, and believe it or not, our shorts, 1 minute to 2 minutes, are getting over 1,000 hits, 900, 1,200. Yeah, so that's where the media is now. It's in the shorts. The long show is cool, but y'all go back and watch the numbers on these shorts. It's a lot, and today will be a lot. Just like last week, we had Nancy on. It was a lot. So I'm very proud of all my guests that come on and what we've accomplished here in 5 years. I can't believe it myself. So, what you looking at, Mark? I know you're looking at something.
Yeah, we're trying to find out these No King protests and trying to see what they were doing and if they had any clips of them. So I was trying to see if there were any clips of the protests going on. So that's what I was watching and everything like that. So actually, hold on one second, and I'll see if I can pull up one from not Durham, but we'll see if we can pull up one from Charlotte. So this is one from Charlotte. I know we're going to try to end before the 2-hour marking. We're at 1:40, but let's see if we can pull up this little clip of what's going on in our area in Charlotte. And we'll probably get dinged for this because it's coverage and everything like that. But what the heck? This is some of the protests that was going on there in the Charlotte area and all along those lines. So that's what I was watching and trying to get to and everything like that. So if you hold on one second, we'll see if we can't get there. You go. That's some of the protests in Charlotte and everything like that. So let's see.
Where's that at?
That's in Charlotte, North Carolina.
No, but I'm saying what building?
Let's see what building that is. I'm guessing it's probably over there by one of the big Charlotte parks because I did a protest in Charlotte and there was a big protest out there. There was like a couple of years ago. So I'm guessing it's down there by one of their major parks.
Good for you, Charlotte. Good for you. You go get them. That's a lot of people.
That is a whole.
That's a lot of people. I know where that is. I know where that is. That's right down the street from where I went to see Fred Wesley. I know exactly where that is. Yeah. There's a club. There's those tall buildings. There's a club underneath there. I went there. A jazz club. I know exactly where that is. Wow.
Well, that's a lot of people, and that's just in Charlotte, North Carolina.
So let me get this right.
About a month ago, he's still doing well and still gigging.
Yeah.
So glad to see that.
Yeah, he is. He is. His daughter is his manager. His daughter's his manager. So I talk to her every now and then to check him out and see how he's doing. So
gathering around now.
Good job, Mark.
Oh, I just wanted to let you guys know that most of the Republicans, congressmen are saying they're going to not attend the parade.
Good.
So Republicans are saying it's foolishness as much as we are.
Good.
They're saying that parade is just ridiculous.
Good. Yo, that was dope, Mark.
Yep.
You know, cool. He wants to do this thing. And people are realizing little by little what little powers they have. They better utilize it. Because he's coming for everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody. You know, brown people like us are next.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're out there and you want to do the right thing, voice your opinion in a calm, peaceful manner. Do not cause riots. Trouble. Do not seek out the negative. It's all about the positive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, only if they attack you do you become Malcolm. But if they don't mess with you, you got to be Martin on this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. So hopefully people will vibe today. I'm happy for all our people that came on today. Shout out to Sonia. Love you down there, sweetie. You know I do. Cindy K. Lane, you know I love you. Can't wait to do some music with you and everybody else that's watching. I know we have a lot of people that watch. We're going to give Linda the big screen mark and let her get the last word. And Linda, amazing show as always. I was talking a lot because I was amped up. Couldn't wait. I was like, yes, finally. Because you know we planned this show last month. So, and then I texted you, right? I said, wow, we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
We could see the handwriting on the wall.
Yeah,
it was building, and so we decided already that we needed to speak up about these things.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. This wasn't. That's right. Yes, we did. So, and I texted you, and I said, "Yo, we got so much to talk about." So, all right, Linda, you go ahead and.
Well, like I said, happy Father's Day to all those whom it applies. Please protest because we have to let him know that this is not. We're not accepting this. This is it's got to the extreme, and it's time for us to stop it. We need to shut him down any way possible. Peace and love, everybody.
Thank you, Linda. We really, really appreciate you for spending time, you know, and giving us some real insight from the middle of the country, because you're literally in the middle. I'm over here, people over there, you're in the middle. That's why, you know, it's a blessing to really, you know.
And if I was still in D.C., believe me, I would not be attending that parade either.
I know you wouldn't be, believe me. And I get it, because a parade for what, you know?
For his ego only.
Yep. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna end this show the way we started, you know, and tribute to Sly. And that was a big blow this week. So we gotta love each other even more now. You know what I mean?
And no kings in USA.
No kings in the USA. Y'all heard that. So y'all check this out. Have a good one. God bless you. And I will see you guys next week.
Getting stronger.
Want to take you higher. Y'all have a good Saturday. Love y'all, man. I'll see y'all later. Peace.